Batman vs. Joker, Ripley versus the Alien Queen, Miles Morales versus Miguel O'Hara versus The Spot. Good hero-villain mashups don't just happen randomly, they are set up and thought out. They're special because they're personal. These characters may seem entirely different from one another, except for Spider-Man and Spider-Man, and their intentions for the world diametrically opposed to one another, and yet they share distinct traits. These shared traits make their enmity intimate and form the battleground upon which their opposing worldviews will be tested. I'm making a graphic novel called Quiet Level 1, and I cannot imagine a matchup more lopsided than this one. Quiet, a Level 1 skeleton versus Gjallarhorn, the Level 100 barbarian. Quiet, seen here cowering for their life, does not stand a chance. And yet, they must prevent Gjallarhorn from destroying the Tree of Worlds. This is their sacred quest. Today, we'll analyze the similarities between heroes and villains. I'll also give you a preview of Quiet Level 1, which launches on Kickstarter July 9th. Yes, this July 9th. Chances are that when you're seeing this, it's already gone live. Secure your copy now by clicking the link below. You and I might be very different. We might even be enemies. But we share a lot in common. We both love Skyrim, Fallout, video games, graphic novels, comics, fantasy, and Dungeons and Dragons. And that is why I know for a fact that you will love this book. Anyhow, like, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. Chances are you already follow me already. So, without further ado, let's begin. The Joker is and always will be Batman's arch nemesis. Batman is a guardian of order, whereas the Joker is an agent of chaos. They stand in stark opposition, but it can be argued very easily that the Joker really likes Batman.
You complete me.
They are entirely different, yes, but to some extent, Joker understands Batman. Watch what he's saying right here and pay attention.
Don't talk like one of them. You're not. Even if you'd like to be. To them, you're just a freak. Like me.
Batman is horrified and disgusted at the idea of being similar to Joker, but Joker is unbothered. He knows they're similar. Neither Batman nor Joker really believe that people are good. Batman wants to believe this, and we love him because he fights for that hope every night. And yet, no matter how hard he fights, Gotham remains a corrupt and crumbling place.
I wish I could say I'm making a difference, but I don't know.
Not the same movie, I know, but you get the gist. Like the Joker, Batman is completely alienated from society. Bruce Wayne visibly indulges in all that Gotham has to offer, but you and I both know it's an act. The real Bruce Wayne, Batman, remains forever locked away from society, stuck in his Batcave in the same way that Joker is stuck in Arkham Asylum. While the Xenomorph design is one of the most terrifying imaginable, its appearance is nothing compared to the fact of its life cycle, which starts with the forceful impregnation of a human host and ends with the newborn chewing its way free. Wow, nature is so beautiful. At the beginning of Aliens, Ellen Ripley is devastated to discover that she has outlived her daughter. Shortly afterwards, on the terraforming planet LV-426, she meets Newt, a little girl traumatized by the sudden and recent death of her parents. As the alien threat closes in, the two of them bond, and after one particularly terrifying encounter, Newt clings to her and calls her Mommy. Just like that, Ellen Ripley has become a mother again. But when Newt is captured by the Xenomorphs and hidden away in the deep recesses of their hive, Ripley puts aside all thoughts of survival, grabs the biggest gun she can find, attaches a damn flamethrower to it, and goes in after. Just in the nick of time, she finds and rescues her surrogate daughter. And in doing so, she confronts her nemesis, the Alien Queen. And she brings the heat. When Ripley destroys both her ovipositor and the clutch of newborn eggs, the Queen, no longer able to bear young, tears herself free and goes after her. And in this moment, their similarities are laid bare. They are both mothers, ready to go to war and die for their young. The battle is intensely personal, and when the Queen goes after little Newt, Ripley says the quiet part out loud.
Get away from her, you...
Across the Spider-Verse had not one, but two villains. Miguel O'Hara, aka Spider-Man 2099, who is a hero, but in this movie serves as an antagonist. And, of course, the Spot. Like Miles, the Spot has only recently acquired his powers. The first time we see him, he's attempting, badly, to steal a few greasy dollars from a bodega ATM. Miles arrives to stop him, and immediately treats the Spot like a weekday villain.
This is real. So are you like a cow or a Dalmatian?
This is, of course, typical Spider-Man humor. But the Spot is genuinely hurt.
Make your flippy, little sassy jokes. Everyone loves them. But no one knows what it feels like to be on the other side of them.
Suffering from imposter syndrome, the Spot wants more than anything to be special, to belong among those who are considered special. He doesn't want to be just a mistake. And this desire to be recognized as a real villain drives his character's journey until this bumbling ex-scientist mutates into something truly terrible.
I won't be just a joke to you!
Yes, they're both new to the whole hero-villain thing, but the real similarities between Miles and the Spot really only come to light later when we meet the film's other antagonist.
My name is Miguel O'Hara. I'm this dimension's one and only Spider-Man. At least I was. But I'm not like the others.
While Miles and the Spot just want to belong, Miguel O'Hara already knows that he doesn't. He intentionally inserted himself into another universe, and the result was a kind of apocalypse. And he's worried that it's going to happen again. In a Spider-Verse teeming with spider people, every one of them special and every one of them belonging, O'Hara drops a bomb on Miles.
The spider that gave you your powers wasn't from your dimension. You're a mistake!
And just like that, Miles learns what the Spot has been feeling all along, that he wasn't supposed to be. He was never meant to exist as Spider-Man. And then, just like the Spot, Miles takes matters into his own hands.
I'm pretty sure you know the rest, jerk.
The theme is belonging, in case that wasn't clear. There are countless examples that I would just love to cover. Michael Clayton versus Karen Crowder in Michael Clayton. Both of them cynical creatures serving a legal corporate monstrosity. Rust Cole and Errol Childress in True Detective. Two men, one a murderer, one a detective. Each one convinced that humanity is trapped within a dark, unending circle of horror. Magneto and Professor X, both intimately familiar with the way humans fear and despise others who are unlike themselves. They only differ in the way that they handle this revelation. The list goes on. But for now, let's return to Quiet Level 1. Quiet and Gallahorn are like David and Goliath, except that not even David had the body of a toddler. Quiet is outmatched in every way. They cannot hope to win in a hand-to-hand contest, except that, as I said in the beginning, the trait shared by both of them is where the real battle between the hero and the villain will be fought. Gallahorn, you see, is unstoppable. His drive is unwavering, his will is indomitable. He is Conan, but bad. And yet Quiet, as small as they are, is adept at getting back up. You cannot stop them for long. They are a skeleton. They need only put themselves back together or have someone else do it for them. Gallahorn is a hero, inverted. Quiet is just a hero. Gallahorn's quest is uncertain, but he believes his cause to be noble. Quiet's quest, the salvation of the Tree of Worlds and all reality, is noble. Gallahorn is very bad news, but he's just a man. He's not evil, and he lives by a code of ethics. So does Quiet. Gallahorn is fearless, but Quiet goes on despite the fear, which makes their bravery all the more impressive. Gallahorn is not scared of death. Quiet's already dead. So you see, my hero and my villain are in fact perfectly matched. In the words of the Joker.
This is what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object.
And I can't help but wonder what will happen when Gjallarhorn realizes that his nemesis, this small, malformed little undead thing, is much more like him than he knows. I can't help but think that the revelation will somehow change him. My friends, the Quiet Level 1 Kickstarter is almost upon us. I have built a world based on video games and fantasy and Dungeons and Dragons. It is designed to be familiar and nostalgic and yet completely original in its own way. I've written the story, I'm making the art, I have a softcover and a hardcover version available to you. It's got the most beautiful slipcase. Just look at it. It's not even done yet, and the yellow designs that you see here are going to be featured in gold. I have pins, I have stickers, and oh yeah, I have the most fantastic figurines of Quiet. I sculpted them myself using the same techniques I used to make Skyrim and Fallout. And now it's been cast by the masters at the Ember Forge, the ones I collaborated on to make these, the Atlantean dice. Now, I should point out that these are not pewter, they're heavy white brass, oxidized to make the details pop. At last, Quiet themselves can be yours. You can bring them home and put them on your bookshelf or your desk. Every member of my family already has one. I love this project, and I might have gone overboard a little bit with this last little detail because I contacted Punished Props, the legendary Punished Props, and they are making the axe Runa, which is the axe wielded by Gjallarhorn the villain. You can see how this was made by watching their video, which I'll link below. This axe will serve as a sort of grand prize for just one of you crazy enough to wield it. Last but not least, for anyone who backs the project within the first 72 hours, you get the early bird gift, a custom sketchbook designed by me with little goodies inside. Use it for your art, your notes, your D&D campaign, or don't use it at all. Just put it up on the shelf where it can look amazing. Do whatever you want with it. It's my gift to you. It's yours. Quiet Level 1 is on Kickstarter. Neither Quiet nor myself can make it without your help. Please join us in this journey. Back to Kickstarter today. This is just the beginning of a long journey. This is Level 1, and I want nothing more than to have you by our side. Click on the link below and grab your copy.